One thing that I want to talk about right now, real quick, is Halo Infinite gameplay overview. So let's break it down. Halo, the very first time they showed like official gameplay, like the debut of the gameplay, we all know it was horrible. And because it was horrible, but yet there's so much hype for the Xbox Series X and the 12 teraflops and all this other stuff, it was like, what is this? Like, what am I buying? It was horrible, straight up. Craig was born. You know, when you saw the faces, like it was bad, the texture popping, it was horrible, right? So now let's fast forward to today. Halo Infinite, the gameplay overview reveal. Now, first thing I would say is it looks way better than what that first initial representation was. So that's the first thing. It looks way better. There's more color, there's more pop. Like everything looks much more alive in comparison to the way it was. Now, so that's a pro. Now, the con is that it's still not what we are looking for when we talk about what next generation looks like and what it's supposed to represent when it comes to your flagship title. So it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more stable. The game looks crazy fun to play. The gameplay, a lot of the features, day one. You know what I mean? We're going to go play Halo all day, all night. You know what it is. At the same time, I want to be realistic. When you look at Halo, when you think about what Halo was back in the 360 era, even back in the OG Xbox era, it came with a certain power when you say the Halo name. You know what I'm saying? It came with a certain standard. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like it's not even just a feeling, it's facts. So you can look at it and tell. Halo kind of never been the same, since Bungie moved on. And 343, with that budget and everything like that, you know me. I believe that they could have done better from what I'm seeing. What they did and what they had, all this other stuff, there's so many things going on. It's hard to make a game, period. I get it. It's hard, it's difficult, but they made it through. We get in the game. It's coming out December 8th, I believe. So, congratulations to the team. At the same time, just as much as we praise a lot of the game developers and how amazing their work is, you also got to criticize so we can get the best out of them too. Respectfully, though. You don't got to be an a-hole. And I'm going to tell you like this. Looking at what I saw today, I wish it was better presented where you just had somebody playing like a whole level of a game or like a whole full out mission instead of like the talk over and all this other stuff and then little gameplay here and there. And the reason why I say that is because the way they showed it today, it comes off as if there's confidence missing in the whole project. And that's what I want to see. I want to see raw gameplay of the campaign, good 20 solid minutes. I think that would have been a great representation of it. So far, what I will say is the gameplay in terms of how you can shoot the ship and then use your grappling hook and fly into another ship and then fly around, like that verticality, like the features and the gameplay, what you could do, phenomenal. I know that's going to be utilized a lot. But from a story standpoint and seeing what the power of the system and next generation and everything is all about, Halo Infinite is not that game. Halo Infinite is just a solid Halo game from what it looks like. And from a story standpoint, I'm still a little lost with it. Like, I think they could have did a much, much better job with this game in terms of the rollout. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the main pro is that it looks a lot better than what it was, performs a lot better than what it was. The main con is that it still doesn't feel and it still doesn't create the Halo effect that we are looking for when it comes to the next generation standard with the money we invested with these systems. Now, I just want to utilize this as an example, not a comparison, but just as an example. When we first saw Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PlayStation 5, exclusive title, the first time we saw it, people was like, nah, that's gotta be CG. That can't be the game. And the game wound up looking better than when we first saw it. There's no game that looked better than Ratchet and Clank, not even on PC. There's nothing that's better than, like, to me, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is the best game ever made in terms of graphics, design, what it does, what it represents, simply because of the power and the development of these new systems and the new technology. There's nothing touching Ratchet and Clank right now. That is a CG movie you're playing, but it's a game. Period. I don't know how they did it. You understand what I'm saying? That's one. All right? Then the second thing I want to say, if you look at Horizon Forbidden West, just looking at that game, it's like, how do you go above Ratchet? And then if you're looking at even PS4 titles that run on PS5, like Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, it's like, what? So that's what I mean. At the end of the day, quantity, you can have all the games you want, but quality always reigns supreme. And I think when it comes to quality, we expect the best from 343. We expect the best when we see Halo. This is Xbox we talking about. You know what I'm saying? We expect the best. When we look at Forza, when you look at Gears, like, we know what it is. But why is it that Forza is always the greatest and the other? So I'm going to get it. You know that. I'm going to play it. I'm happy. The gameplay looks great. I know it's going to feel amazing. I'm looking forward to it. The multiplayer, all of that. But I'm not going to sit back and ignore the fact that when we look for next generation standards, which is now obviously current generation, Halo got to come stronger than that. Because right now, Sony is looking like Jadakiss and Xbox is looking like Dipset. So that's all I had to say about Halo. Get hyped, get excited. It's coming out at the same time when it comes to standards and what we're looking for and why we get the new systems and why we get excited. Halo, your flagship title, is supposed to represent that, and it still don't. Everything else, though, I think it's going to be a good title.